So, Seasons 1 and 2, RJ was your champion, but was dethroned by me? That's right, I was your Season 3 champion. And now, who will it be for Season 4? Will RJ reclaim the throne? Will I be able to hold it on? Or will someone else? Someone like Sean? Someone like Jaden? Maybe someone else? Can they take the title and become Yu-Gi-Oh! Aberdare Wales' champion for Yu-Gi-Oh! Season 4? Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. Yu-Gi-Oh! Season 4 is right around the corner, and we are gonna be doing it again in Aberdare, Wales. How exciting is this going to be? I literally cannot wait. It's going to be definitely the most interesting of the seasons because there's going to be a whole lot of different things happening in this season, not in the way that you're probably expecting. So, without any further ado, let's dive in to Season 4. What is up, everybody? This is O-Artistry here, and welcome back to the channel where today we're going to be talking about Season 4. Season 4 is going to be the definitely most interesting of the seasons because there's so much we're going to have to unpack and we don't have time. Basically, here it is. We're going to be like doing essentially bring whatever you want, and surprisingly it's going to be like that for most of the seasons. Now, at about May time, I do actually have something I would like us to try and do, which is going to be a little bit different, and it's something that we've not done before. It's going to be completely different, and that is going to be the traditional format. Now, I ideally don't really know a whole lot about it, so it's something I need to research, but from what RJ has kind of told me, essentially it's you can use pretty much any card from including the ban list in the game. So regardless of whether you can use, whether it's forbidden or limited or, semi, you can use the card. The things I need to investigate is, do you essentially are you allowed to, like, let's say 3 Pot of Greeds or like 3 Graceful Charities or Heavy Storms, or is it you can only use, like, everything is limited? So like, you only run 1 Pot of Greed, 1 Graceful Charity. I did like this idea as well, but I'm a bit torn on it, so I probably won't, where you can only use 1 card of a copy per deck. So let's say, for example, I was running Heroes. Now, obviously, you'd like to use a whole load of, Strauss, for example. However, what if you were only limited to 1 card per copy? So if everything was limited, which would include the ban list, but if everything was limited, that would slow down a lot of strategies, and you could only use like 1 Ash Blossom and 1 Droll and Lock, all that type of stuff. So it has its benefits, but it also has it has strengths and weaknesses. So I kind of like that idea, but I thought for the most part of the season, what I'm going to be doing is essentially it's going to be bring whatever you want, and with the exception of May, which will then be this traditional format, however that looks. Whatever that looks like, that's what that's going to be. So I need to research that a little bit more, and we're going to really dive into that, and I really can't wait to just kind of, get started and do this tournament. Now, I know what you're thinking. Hang on a second, normally there's Go format, normally there's Edison. Last season, we even did a Speed Duel format tournament, which was great. We even did a deck building challenge the one time, which was really fun, and I really enjoyed that. The thing is that a lot of people, and I've looked at a lot of the feedback that we get on the Discord and things like that, and suggestions and things, how to kind of improve on the tournaments. A lot of people, are wanting to play what's out now, and that's completely fine, and that's not a problem. The other thing is that there probably won't be any tag tournaments either, because the thing is, like with tags as well, you need to kind of build a deck that is going to help your partner, because if you're playing, I don't know, let's say Monarchs, for example, you could practically shut down your partner's deck, for example, if you were doing that. Or like if you're playing, I don't know, let's say Fire King, where you're blowing up the whole board, you're also blowing up your partner's board. So it kind of limits what you can bring. Unless you know what your partner is playing prior, so you can work and build and all that type of thing. But that kind of gives an unfair advantage. So, with that in mind, every tournament in this format of Season 4 will actually be a solo. So that's actually going to be something that's really interesting, because that's going to be something different. And yes, like I want to look at all the feedback that I've kind of gotten from like the previous seasons, and essentially just do a tournament where it's essentially just going to be bring whatever, because there's, it's a new healthy format, and we should be celebrating that, and playing with all the cards that we have at our disposals. Because again, for some people, they don't want to really be going into, I don't know, let's say if you were buying Edison, yes, there's a whole lot of reprints, and built formats have a lot as well, which is fantastic, and a lot of them are cheap. Some people they're not a fan of necessarily that format. So, with that in mind, this is a perfect opportunity to do a season where, because to be fair, Season 3 had a lot. It had a lot of different things going for it. I also just wanted to kind of take a break from it. And just by bringing everything, that you possibly would want, provided it's not on the ban list, except for May, then that makes sense to me. And I really like that idea. But there is something that I personally are going to be doing that's a little bit different on the channel.
Yu-Gi-Oh! A card game with the most cards ever printed in a TCG. A game that I've played for decades and built a massive collection. Now, I have to start from the ground up. In this series, I will be slowly building a deck that I'll be able to be taking to locals and YCS events to one day become the next King of Games. It's all up to fate as I pull random packs from the wheel and try to build the best deck that I can for victory. Will I win? Find out in Mystery to Mastery.
That's right, I will be doing a Mystery to Mastery challenge, where very shortly I'm going to be doing the first episode on the channel. What this means is that I can't use any of the decks that I have access to. You bell. And instead, what I'm going to have to do is essentially build from whatever cards I collect, essentially, from this point forward. So I have a whole load of different things, a load of different products, for example. So I've got, like, for example, I've got these random lots. I have no idea what's in them. They could be anything in these sets. I have mystery packs. I've got tins. I've got the Bonanza, baby. And we're going to be basically building my deck using these products. Now, I do actually have a slight little bit of a deck. It's not really anything too crazy. And we'll be going a lot more into detail on that when I do the very first episode. The only cards that I really know I have, and there's only a few that I genuinely know I actually own because they're on the front, they're front and center, was basically some cards that I got from Niels. And one card that I got from RJ, and that card is going to be the kind of mascot of the deck, which is Courageous Crimson Chevalier Bradamante. So I'm going to bring this card up so you can see that, and then I'm going to post it so you can actually see it, in the video, so you can kind of read what it does. Basically, I know what you're thinking. This card, it doesn't really do a whole lot for any kind of necessary strategy unless it's put in for Noble Knight. Not necessarily that's, true on that aspect, and let me tell you why. See, Yu-Gi-Oh! At its base is a card game where you can use any card from any set provided it's not on the ban list, which is absolutely amazing, and I love that about Yu-Gi-Oh! The issue that you have with that is a lot of the cards that you'll see aren't exactly meta these days. Like, there's no way I could crack open a box of, let's say, Legend of Blue Eyes and, be able to take that to a YCS and win with it. Absolutely not. At the moment, it's, the Alice deck and Ryzeal and things like that, for example, that are the current meta, kings. They're the top decks, and you've got a lot of rogue tiers and things like that, and other really powerful decks. Blue Eyes is literally around the corner, You know, that's going to be coming soon, so that's absolutely, you know, wild. So I've got that to look forward to. So basically, the idea is I want to do this series because I want to really challenge myself. It's basically going to be me slowly building a deck and seeing if I can even win with it, which is why I actually have something that's a little bit different that I'm more than happy to show off as a little bit of a quality of life change. So I'm going to bring that up now. As you can see on the picture here, you'll be able to see that we've still got all the regular positions, first, second, third, fourth, and then you have the raffle, the shout out, the most improved. First of all, just simple things that I've changed is like the cards collectibles. That there, the font, instead of it being, and a lot of the font, to be fair, if you look at the previous video, and I'll show actually a difference, the before, and this is the after. So the original before had a lot of just this yellow writing that was just a bit in your face. It was quite bright and it was a bit like, you know, plainish. So from here you can see that actually I'm going to be using, you know, slightly more darker toned colors, except for fourth place, which is white. But essentially I'm going to be using, like, it's a darker gold, which has kind of like the shadow. The idea of that is so it's more easily readable. It just looks more professional. But also, as you can see, like, I've done it so it's different colors, nicer tones, so it all looks fantastic. And this was all based on the kind of like the previous tournament, so, you know, kind of ignore the placings for now. This was actually the tournament results. It was just as nice to have like a placeholder. Yeah, and like I said, with cards and collectibles, that's like a black font with like the white as like a hue instead of that yellow, which was just, again, just not that nice. And then, yeah, different background. It just looks more sleek in its design. But as you can see, next to fourth place is the Mystery to Mastery. Now, basically the idea is I will be keeping track of every time I win a game, regardless of if I win a match or not. You know, if I win any games, I get a point, and if I get a point, that's fantastic. If I don't get a point, well, that kind of sucks. But it'd be nice to also keep track of my own progress within the series using this as baseline, and that's kind of like the idea. Using this to show kind of like my own deck, how that deck's going, and, you know, how to you know, keep track of the score. So that I thought it was a really cool little idea. And yeah, as you can see, we still got like the raffle. You know, we're going to keep the shout outs, the most improved, as well as who the current season winner is. These are all things I wanted to do because, you know, I think it's important to recognize, you know, for example, who, you know, shout out, like, maybe my favorite deck of the day, or, you know, who I think is, hey, they perform really well, or, you know, hey, look at the most improved, you know, section. You know, they've gone from, like, I don't know, maybe let's say the last tournament, you know, I've got Sean in third. If Sean comes first in the next tournament, he would be in the most improved section. It makes the most logical sense. And yeah, it's going to be interesting to see, you know, going forward, how those kind of points and systems and things works. Now, going back to the Mystery to Mastery series, a lot of things are going to be different for me, because obviously, like I said, I'm going to be slowly building my decks with packs and all sorts, but I'm not going to just open packs. Like, I could just pick and choose whatever I want, which is why I'm going to be using a wheel, taking inspiration from the progression series. I'm actually going to be using a wheel where the wheel will decide for me what packs I'm going to be opening with the ones that I have available. And, you know, it's going to be the exact same with the tins, as well as what I'm going to be using with also the random lots, and things like that. And there's going to be a whole lot of surprises. I will also have a separate wheel. So, for example, if I'm not in the top 4 positions, so if I'm not coming fourth, or if I'm fourth, actually, yeah, I'm going to change that very quickly. So if I come first, second, or third, I do not get access to the second wheel. However, if I come fourth or lower, I will then have a separate wheel. That wheel will have just single cards. So cards that I will then, again, on the wheel spin, and whatever I land will get me what I need. So, for example, if I'm thinking I need an ash blossom of some sort, I can spin the wheel and I might end up landing on an ash blossom, or maybe Droll, Zeus, maybe just a Raigeki, or Forbidden Droplet, or, Dark Ruler No More. Just a lot of just cards that are staples, Tactics Thrust, Triple Tactics Talent, just any card that will just, I feel, help me get maybe a little bit of my deck improved and stronger, just get those combo lines so I can improve my deck. So if I'm not necessarily winning a tournament, I will have a separate wheel so that I can spin and then just be able to slightly improve my deck. So that's going to be really exciting, and I think that's a really good idea. That's just me. The other thing is obviously, it's going to be all shown on the channel. So one thing that's really exciting, and I can't wait to show this off, is I've got this. It's this fantastic tripod, which is actually, like, really tall. It goes up to my shoulders. I'm 6 foot, this goes to my shoulders. So we'd be easily able to do some different things. So if I just, like, crack this open, for example, and, like, pull this out, I'll show you now. So, like, I'm just going to pop this down all the way to the bottom, and just pull. There we go. And as you can see, it's, like, outside the frame. Hang on, I need to bring it, like, more this way. It's like R2-D2 when he's in the water, and he's like, whoop, kind of thing. But there we go. Yeah, and then basically with this part, you can put your phone in, so I can either do it, like, so I'm doing it portrait, or I can do it sideways, so it's going to be landscape, and I can, like, change, like, how I basically, aim, like, how I want to angle, how I want to angle it, so if it's angling at the table. So when I'm doing pack openings, because I haven't done a pack opening on the channel in a long time, it's going to be really exciting for me to basically do. Because, yeah, I haven't done, like, pack openings on the channels, because mostly, oh my word, when I do pack openings, just full disclosure, when I used to do those, I used to just pile a whole load of stuff, binders, tins, maybe things like that, and then get a decent angle with my phone that would just be over it, and then just have, like, my hands just then, like, under the camera, so I could be like, oh, look at this, look at what I pulled, kind of thing. So that's how I used to do pack openings. So it's going to be very exciting using this for those, but also I'm going to be taking this to the tournaments, because I'm going to be showing how we're playing, what we're doing. It's going to be a lot more interactive at tournaments. I hope to take more things like photos and things like that, photos of the day and stuff and what's going on. And actually, if you're watching this video and you've actually got this part to the channel, for those who are coming to, the tournaments in Aberdare, feel free to take photos, and I'm going to be saying this at the tournaments, feel free to take photographs, so then, and then send them over to me, so then that way then I can throw them in on, on Facebook, on Discord, throw them in on the YouTube channel, because I want to show the Yu-Gi-Oh community what's going on at the tournaments a lot more, and, that's like one of the things I'm going to be doing that's going to be very different. And the other thing is I'm actually going to be vlogging and doing a bit of a vlog, of, the tournaments, a vlog, maybe not vlog, but you know what I mean. So, I'm going to be vlogging all of, what happens at the tournaments, because, using my phone, using the camera here, when we do the pack openings and all sorts, and just showing my journey and my experience. I actually have been watching this channel. I know I mentioned, I think I did before, was Ruggles. Now, basically, I love the style in how he's been filming and things, and showing that it's more than just, Yu-Gi-Oh's not just, it's more than just like a card game. It's life, and life playing Yu-Gi-Oh, life out of Yu-Gi-Oh, things like that. So you'll be able to see a lot more of that also coming to the channel, where you just get to see me doing everyday normal things in amongst all the YouTube, the Yu-Gi-Oh content. And, I think that's really cool. And, it's a great idea, and I love it. So you know, shout outs to Ruggle channels here. You know, shout out to Simo and Nim Nim with the progression series with the wheel. You know, that's gonna, you know, I'm gonna show that here too. You know, I absolutely think these are amazing ideas and opportunities. And also, Riv's Cards, I believe it is, who's even doing the Mystery to Mastery series. I'm gonna show that, you know, here as well, because yeah, this is where this inspiration came from. You know, taking a deck, building it as best as you can, and then planning to take it to a qualifiers or YCS. You know, doing your best you can with it. Now, that's going to take me a little longer than, you know, someone like Ribs, but I really want to show my journey with the game, and I want to show, like, because like I said in the 2025 video that I did, I want to do more with the community as well as more with just the card game in general, and just, you know, really show Yu-Gi-Oh! In just such a much more positive light, because, you know, I don't know if you've seen on YouTube, like, there's a lot of just negativity I mean, Master Duel, oh my word, the Facebook Master Duel, like, page, like, it's just awful. It's awful. You know, it's just people complaining all the time. And you see that in, like, you know, Twitter's like, oh, I mean, Twitter's Twitter anyways, but, like, the community is like, like, you know what I mean? I really don't like it. So I just want to kind of, like, because Yu-Gi-Oh! Is, like, a game I love, and I want to show it in a positive and healthy way. Because, yeah, there's a lot of, you know, stuff that happens. So, it's great, you know, and I want to show that off. And I want to do it to the best of my abilities, starting right back at the basics. I mean, I would have loved it if I could have got a Star Deck Yugi. Oh my goodness, like, imagine, like, if there was a unboxed, maybe not sealed, because imagine opening up a sealed Star Deck Yugi box. Oh, that would have been, like, painful to open. But if there was, like they were in pretty much, like, mintish condition, Star Deck Yugi, I would have loved to have started with that. And I just cracked open a whole load of packs, and then just started building from there. That would have been amazing. But I didn't want to grab a structure deck. Like, that's the thing. Like, I didn't want to grab a Star Deck. I didn't want to grab a structure deck, because I feel like, you know, I could have gotten, for example, the Blue Eyes one that's coming out now, or even the previous Blue Eyes one, and I'm already at, like, an advantage because it has a strategy, it has a build. These things that I got from Neil, for example, this is like a 15 quid, you know, it should be, in theory, a deck that you play straight away. It's not. But this is basically got, it's a psychic package, which has, like, this has the punk card on the front. It's a psychic package, so they should, in theory, all be psychic cards, with this one being, number 89, Diabolosis, the Mind Hacker. So, yeah, that's going to be, like, my starter package. I then also have, a few other, like, little mini, like, I've got one mini package, which is, like, themes. It's just general themes, hopefully. And then I got some 10p cards just to round up the deck, so it was kind of just like a bunch of just random bulk. I literally just picked random bulk, and it's just, you know, like, some of these cards I can use, and some of them I just absolutely can't. And it's, you know, so it's just things like that. But yeah, I've got my packs, I've got my random lots, I've got the Bonanza set that I won from the previous season, and then I've got the, you know, some tins, and I've got a bunch of packs. But again, how that's going to work is I'm only going to be able to open, like, 2 packs, you know, from that. 4 packs of the Bonanza to start with. On the next tournament, I'll probably open 10 in March, and then 10 in April to finish off the box. You know, and there's going to be a lot of cards I'm going to be searching for, literally praying and hoping for, because I'm going to need them, you know, to even remotely have a chance. Just to even play anything, just a board of some sort. But that's going to be really exciting. And yeah, I'm just really excited to get into it. But I wanted to discuss Season 4. You know, I just really wanted to, you know, share this experience with you guys. So yeah, that's going to be what's happening moving forward. It's a bit of a different video, unlike my most, which is like trailers and also. This one's very different, and I'm really looking forward, because this is more of like a discussion video, like letting you guys know what you think of Season 4. Like, are you interested in it? Are you looking forward to seeing it on the channel? and how everything unfolds, you know, and the blog, and or vlog even, and you know how that's gonna go. So yeah, you know, without any further ado, you know, I'm gonna wrap up this video. So please make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more content like this one. And as always, party on, heaps. Take care, guys. It was great to see you. And we'll see you again in the next video. Bye. You really thought that Sean, the handpicked champion, was going to win? I knew that I was going to win this season. There was no competition. I showed my snake eyes and raw card at the end of season. Knew I was going to win. I was destined for greatness. You will never beat me. You will never take this crown away from me. It is mine, and I will do anything to keep it. My Bonanza Baby set is gonna get me to victory. You cannot stop me. You cannot defeat me. Who do you think you are? Who's gonna stop me? RJ? Please. Even with all this new Blue Eyes cards, all I need is a Bluster Blader, the Dragon Destruction Swordsman, and I'll get those easy victories. That will just be a handshake as soon as he hits the board. Who else is there? Jaden? I mean, his Temp High Flame Swordsman deck could be a bit of an issue and a challenge. But again, all I would need is just to shut off his synchro plays. Maybe I could even play non-fusion area and not have to deal with fusions. All I need is the right cards, and I'll be golden.